Hey there, guys. So, training of late has been very up and down. And that's just simply due to the fact that newborn baby makes everything, temporarily challenging. Very rewarding, but very challenging at the same time. So, when it comes to your training, you just need to have a bit of a reality check and, look at how things are going to plan out. It's not going to exactly turn out how you want in terms of, paper and training and however you'd planned your sessions. For me, like the advice I would give would be the following. If you can, if you know baby's on its way and the rest of it, change your training style completely. Go higher rep. And the main reason is if you go higher rep, you're just going to build better fitness. And that was sort of part of my, thinking behind the front squat every day program where I was squatting, 100 kilos for 20 reps in the end. And that was just to build conditioning for the heart and lungs. Gave me a lot more energy because at the end of the day, being ridiculously strong isn't going to help much when you're sleep deprived and the rest of it. Having more energy, more red blood cells, more oxygen in the system makes a massive, massive difference. So when it comes to training, that's sort of what I would encourage, just going in a higher rep. And also higher rep means there's less CNS engagement. You don't feel as burnt out and fatigued. You can take more time to, feel the quality of your reps, work on some technique work and the rest of it. And the other thing is, no one really cares what your numbers are. So don't stress if they drop. For me, numbers have obviously dropped a bit. Yesterday I did bench press and only did, 7 reps at 170 kilos and then just did a back off set of 10 at 150 kilos. So definitely nowhere near as strong as, peaking for a powerlifting comp. But at the same time, slowly getting fitter, which I've definitely noticed, with stones and push-ups and pull-ups and things like that. So that's going to have a big carryover. But not allowing your numbers to, define who you are is, really important. The reality is you've got a new little kid, so you need to look after them and, still, if you have other kids, still be dad and, look after them at the same time. What I was going to say is the idea also, trying to get everything done in a single training session is probably one of the worst concepts that we probably have for training. The reality is you probably won't have an hour and a half to, train in a single block. And even if you do, you may not have the energy for it. Like for me, I can't train for an hour and a half at the moment. I'm just too tired. And I've got to get other things around the home done as well to, make the burden a little bit lighter because, that's what it temporarily is. And you also got to think, this is only going to be for hopefully, a month, 6 weeks where it's really quite hard. And the first 2 weeks, they're really hard. So just be prepared for that. And, if your training has to go out the window entirely, so be it. But you can always control, nutrition, just eat clean, take it as a deload if you need to as well. So there's many ways around it. And, heaps of people, this is life, this is normal. Being like an athlete and trying to train every day and, be perfect in that regard, that's probably, quite far removed from what normal actually is. So try and keep that in mind as well. For training, I wouldn't try and go with a full body split. I'd try and break it up to, something really basic like a upper and lower body sessions. Day one being chest, shoulders and tries. And then, day two being legs, back and biceps. You don't have to get all of them, you don't have to do that Monday and then Tuesday. You might go Monday and then, train again on Thursday. You might only be training twice a week. But the point is, you're only trying to maintain or stop yourself from slipping too far backwards because it's a difficult stage of life. This isn't your style of training forever. It's just to manage how to get from point A to point B. And in terms of sets and reps, you might only do 4 sets of 10. You might do for chest, you might do bench press. For shoulders, could be overhead press. And triceps, it could be, the tricep push downs. Only 4 sets of 10. It's not a lot of volume, but it's definitely enough to, hold on to the majority of your gains and stop you from slipping backwards. And the same thing, legs, I'd probably lean more towards front squats simply because they're not as taxing on your lower back, and you're going to want your lower back if you're, picking up baby all the time out the cot and, just doing life. It's just one of those things. You want your lower back to be fresh, but also, front squats I don't find anywhere near as fatiguing on the central nervous system. So work more on technique. As I said, this is only temporary. Back, 4 sets of 10 as well, your choice. You might do rows, dumbbell rows, barbell rows, pull-ups, chin-ups, pick what you want, and then, just normal bicep curls just to finish off. And if you have the time, you might do that Mondays and Tuesdays, Wednesday rest, Thursday, Friday, and, take the weekend off to catch up with friends and family if you can. But I wouldn't overdo it on the volume, simply because, if you're sleep deprived, you're going to recover slowly. So, try and get sleep in where you can. Don't fall into the trap of coming home and feeling tired and think, I'm just going to sit and watch some TV for a bit. If you feel like that, just either go to sleep or just, do something else. Probably TV's going to be a waste of your time, especially if you're tired. Get the sleep, because you really will need it. Especially if you're working, quite a hard, laboring job as well. You're going to really want to manage your sleep, quality nutrition, and just, looking after yourself in general, because newborn babies, take a lot of energy. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, have a great day.